Hello, my friends. I am so excited because today is my first long form video that I'm posting that isn't a recap. This is my September reading wrap up. Now, I want to try and keep this pretty consistent across the board with each of the books that I read, so I'm going to try and keep the same format. Let me know what you think. Of course, first I'll give you the title and the author, then I'll give you a quick spoiler-free synopsis. And for the last bit, I'll give you my rating and who I think this book would be good for. So let's get to it. First up, we have Broken Souls and Bones by L.J. Andrews. Our MMC Lyra is in hiding because of her unique magic. She's a melder and they're highly coveted in the kingdom. Rourke, a man in the king's guard, is tasked with finding her and bringing her back to the palace so that she can start serving the king. After he retrieves Lyra and brings her back to the castle, she has to start learning how to utilize her powers. She has to navigate life in the palace, she has to figure out who she can trust, and all of this while she's being watched by Rourke. War is looming and Lyra has to decide which side she wants to be on, if she even wants to be on anybody's side at all. There are lots of secrets being kept by everyone, but that plot twist at the end of the book was wild. Broken Souls and Bones gets an easy 4 out of 5 for me, and you'll love this if you love Nordic vibes, a unique magic system, found family, and an extremely unique MMC. I truly have never found sign language so hot in my entire life. This is also a great book for you if you don't want to commit to a long series because this is a duology. Of course, Broken Souls and Bones is already out, with the next book slated to be released early next year. This next book is actually an advanced reader copy that I got, and I am floored that I got approved for this because it was so good. It is The Ordeals by Rachel Greenlaw. In The Ordeals, we have Sophia de Winter. She's an illusionist who's bound in servitude to her uncle. She's willing to do almost anything to be free of him, including competing in deadly trials to get into an elite magic school. On her journey, she meets Alden Locke. He's another hopeful trying to get accepted into the college, and they have to work together to pass their first trial. Of course, the trial to enter wasn't the end of it. There are several more trials that the students have to go through, and Alden and Sophia have to work together in order to make it through and become full students. If that wasn't enough, there's a murderer on campus picking off students one by one. In this book, nobody's intentions are what they seem. The Ordeals got a solid 4 out of 5 for me. You'll love this if you want an easy to understand magic system, a school setting, and if you love enemies to lovers. Next up is Count My Lies by Sofia Stava. When the book opens, we're introduced to Sloane, a self-proclaimed pathological liar. She sees a little girl in the park on her lunch one day. Of course, she's accompanied by her hot dad. And when she heads over to help the girl, she lies and says that she's a nurse. This lie quickly spirals into a full-time nanny gig, and Sloane decides that she wants to live with this family. It seems to be going a little bit beyond obsession, and her secrets are quickly catching up with her. Without spoiling anything, all I can say is that she's not the only one keeping secrets. Basically, everybody's a pathological liar. This one got a 2 out of 5 for me, and I think you'll like this book if you want a quick read, an easy popcorn thriller, and if you like liars and enjoy feeling secondhand embarrassment. Next up is arguably my favorite book of the year, and I will not shut up about it. It's A Forbidden Alchemy by Stacey McEwen. Also, forgive me if I say her name wrong. We open with Nina and Patrick, who are 2 poor kids from the outskirts of the country. Separately, they both head to the capital for a ceremony that will decide whether or not they have magic. Because kids are kids, they stumble upon a crazy secret that could change the world. At that point, it's up to them. They have to decide where they're going. While they walk down 2 separate paths as children, as young adults they meet again, but on opposite sides. Both Nina and Patrick want to do whatever it takes to protect the people that they love, but they seem to have different ideas of how they should go about that. This book had so many twists and turns, and I did not call a single thing, which I'd like to think is rare for me, but I was so wrapped up in the storytelling that I didn't notice all of the breadcrumbs that were being left. This is easily a 5 out of 5, and honestly, it gets a 6 out of 5 for me because it was just that good. You'll love this if you love Peaky Blinders, enemies to lovers, and a captor-captive relationship. You'll also love this if you want to break from the typical magical systems that are pretty common in fantasy right now. Honestly, this book was a breath of fresh air, and I had such a great time. My last book for the month is Caught Up by Navessa Allen. Now, I loved Lights Out. That was my first dark romance, and I could not have been happier with it. All that to say, I went into this with really high expectations, and I think that wasn't the best idea. This book centers around Junior, the son of a mobster. With his most recent job, he gets a second chance with his childhood love. He's been stalking her for the past 10 years, because what would a Nevessa Allen book be without stalking? And eventually he tries to reintroduce himself into her life. For the FMC, we have Lo. She's a spicy content creator who advocates for other spicy content creators to the government. He gives her lots of money and protection, and she introduces him to his kinky side. That church scene, oh my God. Now that they have a second chance, they get to decide their romantic fate and whether or not it's possible for Junior to leave the mob. Caught Up got a 3 out of 5 for me, and I think you'll love this if you love a mob man, if you love a man that is willing to do anything for you, or if you love second chance romances, specifically with childhood loves. Those are all the books that I read for September. What was your favorite read this month?